Welcome back to the Blended Family Podcast. Now, we have been through the journey of getting to the point of being in a blended family. So I have a very, very lovely guest who I'd love to introduce herself before we get to what we're talking about today. Maureen, please say hi to everybody.
Hi, first of all to you. And thank you for having me.
Thank you for being here. I'm so excited because I know we have so much to talk about off camera. But on camera, what we will be talking about is we're going to be talking about dating as a single parent.
Yep.
And giving our perspectives on what that was like.
Yeah.
And I guess also if you've dated a single parent, what was that like for you as well? Please let us know in the comment section. We'd love to hear some of your stories and what it was like for you. So much, I don't think you guys even know it. So Maureen, I know there's so much to say, but I'll just dive straight into the questions so that I guess we can just both give our perspective, especially because of the fact that, first of all, just introduce yourself and the fact that you're a mother of two beautiful boys. Yeah.
Great. My name is Maureen Waititu.
Yes.
Gosh, I wear so many hats. I struggle with the introduction. But I'm an advocate of everything good and positive in life.
Okay.
I love women, I love men, I love children.
Right.
I feel like each and every person has the right to sort of place themselves in the society the right way.
Yeah.
And I'm a businesswoman, I'm a TV host, I'm a content creator.
And an
I'm
amazing, sweet person.
Oh, gosh.
Yes. Yes, you are.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you so much.
You're welcome. And thank you for being here. So I know I did sort of brief you on what's going on, but I guess just to tell our viewers what's going to happen is we're going to read some questions. Then Maureen and I will sort of tackle them together, giving our perspective based on either our experience or what we've heard other people's experience are, and just what we think about that specific question.
Fantastic.
Right? All right, Maureen, let's get straight into it. So the first thing I'm going to ask is I'm a mother of two girls and Maureen is a mother of two beautiful boys. Yeah. So as a single parent, what do you think is the right time, or when do you think is the right time to start dating again after a separation or after a divorce? Would you like me to go first, or do you want to go first?
You can go first.
I could go first.
You're the one who, you're way ahead of me.
All right. I don't know. I feel like, again, I must emphasize, which I say in every single episode, is it's not one size fits all.
Yes.
Different people do different things differently. And also we do learn from mistakes along the way. So for example, I know there are people who've gone and jumped straight into a relationship, maybe a month, a week, and sort of healed through that relationship that they're in right now, and it's worked out. For some people, it's not worked out. But the ideal thing, based on the conversations that we've had with a child therapist, is to give it a bit more time, especially because you may be able to, or you may eventually introduce this new partner to your children. In terms of the duration, I think the duration should be based on if you've healed, which takes time, and how much time does it take for you as an individual to feel like you're fully healed. And then two, I guess just how much, I think I'll just start with that. I think it should take time.
Great.
Yeah.
So usually I say when you have become a parent,
Right.
it takes at least 9 months
Okay.
to be with a person, because there will be so many different circumstances where you end up being a single parent.
Right.
It could be, you don't know who the father is. It could be you stayed for a few months, it didn't work out.
Right.
It could be that he chose to bounce. It could be that you chose to be a single parent from maybe a donor.
Right.
The circumstances are so diverse. However, when it comes to my own opinion, I'm a firm believer in healing.
Okay.
Being very self-aware and really confronting the things that didn't work out in your marriage or the situation you're in. And then slowly remember it's about you.
Right.
Your kids are very separate from who you are.
That's true.
But they need a mom who is completely okay in terms of your healing. Like myself, I felt like I healed with my children.
Okay.
And I can see my different versions of them through me.
Right.
And it's still going on.
Yeah.
And so by the time we are getting into a state of co-parenting, I was in a very good place.
Okay.
And that, I feel like that can be the mark of, okay, I can entertain somebody else, or, go out, have fun as a girl as well.
Yeah.
Remember, moms are girls too.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, but I think it's all about the individual. But yes, majority of the time, please take time.
Right.
Heal. Because there's this other thing that people do, my goodness. And I think I even put it on my status this morning. And I said, stop living a life where you're trying to prove
something.
Can you imagine busing your entire existence trying to prove a
something.
point? Recipe for disaster.
Yeah.
Do it for you. Do it right.
Right.
And trust me, it works out.
Yeah.
Oh, and you attract what you are. So if you've not healed, you'll keep attracting unhealed people.
Yeah. Now, I guess I just want to question this. What if there's some people out there who heal through, those people who are like chronic relationships are, where it's just like, I cannot be alone. I'm not going to be alone. I'm just going to jump, which is not even necessarily healing. They think they're healing, but they just like jump through that.
They're just postponing.
Yeah, it's just postponing the healing process.
Yeah.
I hear you. All right, now we're going to go to the second question, which is, it's different dating when you have children.
Oh, gosh.
Extremely different.
Yeah.
So we're going to talk about those differences in question 3. But on the first date, how is this like? And do you think that the kids should be a topic of discussion on the first day?
Oh, yes.
Absolutely, 100%, like without a doubt.
Yeah, a parent is a package.
Yeah, yeah.
Your kids are not a baggage. You come as a package. Let the person know early on. Maybe you don't have to tell too much information, depending on your gut feeling, depending on whether you've already, we know. Like after 15 minutes, you're like, when I leave this place, you're never going to hear from me again.
Yeah.
So, but of course, if you feel like you are with a person who, sort of is, measuring up to your standards, please, by all means, tell them on the word go.
Yeah. I guess also for parents or for people who are dating single parents, I would like to know, is the kids a topic of discussion on the first date that you would want to have? Because I feel like with my situation with my partner, those are questions that were asked between the first period. Like, what's the relationship between your ex? How do you do this with your kids? And I was open to answering them because it's something of pride. Like it's also for, and I also asked, what's your motive from the beginning?
Absolutely.
Because it's like, I'm not here for fun and games. So what exactly do you want out of this? I feel like that open conversation should be the thing from the beginning, right?
Exactly, yeah.
All right.
Oh, sorry, just before you go ahead, it's about, not even when you're even a parent.
Right.
I think it's important to put some basic things on the table.
Okay.
On the first day.
Yeah.
Because there's that comfort of, oh my goodness, I like this person. I don't want them to see me in a different light. It's such a baggage. Before you know it, you've gone too far deep. Then they start finding out things.
Yeah.
And it all goes away.
You know what I usually say about first dates? I'm always like, it's marketing,
because
you're marketing yourself and it's all the good things. What I'd like to see a first date where you're just like, this is a problem that I have that I'm working with. These are my insecurities. These are, but I'm just like, nobody ever wants to show that on the first date.
Not to the extremes.
Not to
Let's
the
just
extremes.
read the room.
Yeah. And if you do, then immediately you're labeled such and such. Like it's never an open space on the first few dates to just be like, this is what I struggle with, So it's marketing, literally
and remember,
marketing yourself.
Yeah, remember what may be difficult to another person. When the person is right, it's almost like, I'm not even asking for much.
Right.
This is who I am.
Yeah.
And that's how you even like remove the people who don't qualify over the people who have potential. Probably your future love.
Yeah, your future love. I love that. All right, now give your perspective from the one who has the kids to the one who's become, I guess we've done that, to the one who's coming on the first date with kids. I'm trying to remember my first date. Oh, I remember.
Tell us.
You want to hear?
I'm so curious.
Well, I guess I went on a couple of days, but I'm going to talk about my date with the current partner that I'm with right now. It was interesting because at first I was like, what do you want? Like, can you not see that I've got 2 kids? Like, what is it that you want exactly? And he's like, yeah, I'm very aware.
Yeah.
I'd like to, meet.
Oh,
And
my
I was like,
goodness.
okay, what do you want to do? And then he was
Yeah.
like, what do you want to do? And I was like, surprise me. It was one of maybe the most creative first dates ever. It was very beautiful, but I was nervous. The reason I'm bringing up this story
Yeah.
is because learning to date again is interesting, especially for scenarios, because you said there are different scenarios. There's a scenario where you've been in a long-term relationship and you just know how to act, respond based on the partner that you were with
Yeah,
because you
yeah.
were learning an individual fully.
Exactly.
And now you're out in the world again. You're trying to understand who you are now.
Yeah.
How do you flirt? How
Yeah.
do you, how do you take certain things? How do you ensure that there's no comparison?
Yeah.
When you're with this person about how you used to be treated and how
Yeah.
you're being treated now.
Yeah.
I mean, there's so many factors when it comes to the first date, right?
It's crazy.
It's crazy.
It's crazy. Yeah.
All right. Now, how can you compare dating before you had kids to dating when you have kids? And what are some of the noticeable differences?
Oh my God.
I know.
Noticeable
I know.
differences. What you talking
There's
about?
so many,
Day
no?
and night.
It's like
Day and
different.
night.
I was talking to somebody, sorry.
Yeah,
and one
yeah.
of the things they're saying is like he was in fact the wife was here on one of the episodes, and he's now usually on the other side, and he was saying you have to do bedtimes and understand that you can't take somebody for dinner until like bedtimes are done, there's that whole schedule and stuff. And he's like, it was a completely different ball game where it's like, if somebody's co-parenting this week, I have the kids, so we're good. Next week I don't have, so now we can be able to work around that.
Sometimes that come with it.
Anyway.
Yeah.
So please tell me your differences, some of the noticeable differences that are there.
But before I even say them,
Right.
I just want to say that any person who comes into a person who has a kid's lives
Right.
and really steps up, oh my goodness. Those people need a special place in heaven.
I know.
Not that we are not worthy.
Right.
But there are 2, 3 souls or one who have not experienced anything amazing in the form of love and togetherness.
Right.
And then suddenly this person literally steps up. And I feel like for women it's easier because we are maternal.
Right.
We'll make anything grow with nurture. But for men, it's so beautiful.
Right.
And yeah, we'll revisit that. But day and night, of course, before kids, things were easy. There's a lot of attention, honestly.
I'm like,
Yeah.
I actually feel like also for women, because of the fact that they're maternal, I think even for them, it's such a big thing to love a child that's not yours. Do you get what I mean?
Yeah.
Because I've seen women struggle to form a relationship with the child because we're the maternal ones. So sometimes I feel like for guys, it's difficult, yes. But they're not really the ones who, who give birth. So it's like just managing to find a way to fit into this family. It's not easy. I'm not saying it's easy. But for women, because of the ones, they're the ones who give birth and they're maternal, then I feel like a little more work is needed from women to extend that grace. Do you get what I mean?
Yeah.
But let's jump back to the differences.
It so happens that, and I just want to add to that point that if I come into a man's life that has kids and the mother is somewhere,
it's difficult.
She's mama bear.
Yeah.
She will give you hell.
Yeah. It's
And I think one day we'll talk about that.
Yeah.
Like how can also the other people involved,
Right.
whoever is coming into that person's life, handle themselves. But for today, I'll say just one word: respect.
Yeah.
Okay. So dating before kids, dating after kids, it's like day and night.
Right. Right.
Of course, I had mine when I was young, so I just cleared uni. I've not even tasted money. I don't know what it feels like to just be a girl.
Right.
And then I'm here on the other side with the 2 of them, with a different body, with different priorities.
Oh yeah.
Like the things I could list down and the things I'd list down right now are completely different, including my type.
Yeah. Oh yeah. It's limited now. It's not as,
It's clear.
Yeah.
It's clear now.
Right.
It's, because also there's that aspect of growth, maturity. Same way for a person who is, say, in their 30s or even 40s and they don't have kids and what they used to date when they were 21, 25. Day and
Different,
night.
yeah.
But hey, when it comes to parenting, I'm already thinking, does this person respect my time?
Right.
For me, the biggest thing is integrity. If you tell me we are meeting on Friday at 5 p.m.,
Right.
I've already diarized that. So if you're wishy-washy, you're late, I mean, I'm not very patient.
Yeah.
I just move on regardless.
Yeah.
Because my priority right now is me and my babies, because
Right.
they get everything out of me. So if I'm frustrated, if I'm like not where I need to be,
Right.
hey, I said I paid my dues.
Yeah,
Like,
and that's that. I mean,
I'm done.
yeah, like I've heard cases of women who actually stay out of relationships and out of the dating scene so that you just focus on the kids. And then when the kids are grown, that's when like, okay, I'm back now, back to the streets. And that time they're in their 40s and they live up.
Exactly.
And they live it up.
Yes.
So yeah, it's definitely a lot different. Okay, I was trying to think about some of the differences that I had to go through. It's I guess having somebody who you constantly also have to watch over, like when you're dating, when you're single, like you don't have anything on your mind. But now it's like when you have kids, it's like, okay, have the kids had dinner? Okay, then you're just like, hold on, I just need to find out something, and you're constantly talking. There's a lot of differences when you're dating, when you're single. All right, now what does learning to date again look like? Oh my gosh. What does learning to date again look like? I think I'll just go back to learning to date for me was like a whole of a lot of different things. The communication aspect, like we said, time is limited. So then I had to learn how to communicate around the fact that I have children now, and what does that look like, and how do I give attention to this person but still be present enough for my kids where he feels that I'm interested. But still have time for my kids, you know? So I feel for me, learning to date again, for me, a lot was learning to manage time. And then also learning myself all over again. Like, what do I like?
It's a whole school up
Yeah.
here.
Yeah. Like, what is it that I like? What is it that I don't like?
And you find yourself simplifying life.
Yeah.
You say, if this is going right, if that is going right, I'm good.
Yeah.
I'm good.
Yeah.
Before, I used to laugh at a friend of mine. She'd say, when I get a baby, my husband, it's not a bad wish. Hey,
Right.
my husband needs to show up in the hospital and I need to wake up to balloons from here to Timbuktu. I was just like, I was already a mom of two, and I was like, girl. And it's okay, wishful thinking. And then you realize that reality will set in and you're like, I'm okay with certain things. Of course, not that you lower your standards, but everything becomes clearer. Like, this is who I'll go for. If I feel a certain way about this person, no. If they make me fall off my routine and the things I do, somehow we integrate ourselves into each other's lives. Of course, there's a level of compromise. I'll have my nanny stay a bit longer on a certain day so I can, enjoy. But right now it's like zero patience. Like, this can't happen, that can happen.
Yeah.
I'm sorry. And it's not like towards them, it's more towards you. Like, this is not working, girl. Run. Hey, dude. And also being straightforward. Like, if I'm not feeling the vibes, I'll be like, I don't feel it.
Yeah. There's this reel that normally goes round about when your mother, I don't know if it's when your mother or when you reach a certain age, it's like, you know what you want, you know what you don't want. It's like the date almost becomes like an interview. So do you do this? How much do you earn? We're not here to waste time. You've seen that reel that goes around, like, okay, this is not gonna work.
Like, it's not gonna work.
Yeah,
thank you.
like,
bye,
that's
next.
it. Yeah, next. But then at the same time, there's also one on the opposite side, which my brother usually makes fun of it, where he says that the older you get, there's a tweet that was like, bora na pumua. You know what I mean? Like,
it's
as long as he breathes, I'm going to take him. Yeah.
Simplification. Like,
because
so hard.
So then I guess you can say that having kids then balances that out, where it's just like, I don't care how old I am. These are my non-negotiables and I'm not going to compromise. You know what I mean?
And it comes also with age. I've when they say like life begins at 40, and I've interacted with, it's not even too far, by the way. I've interacted with 40
Don't
plus.
mention it, please.
40 plus year olds.
Yeah.
I look at them and how they carry themselves, and I'm like, wow. I want that.
Right.
Because right now, you're so self-conscious. You question everything. Maybe there's that aspect of trying to please everyone. Compare yourself with other people. But then I think it reaches a time you're like, am I breathing? Am I healthy?
Yeah.
You even go to the gym just to keep your heart beating
Yeah.
proper.
Yeah, properly.
Not
Yeah.
for the bikini body anymore.
Yeah.
It's just a balance in life.
Of life. Yeah, I agree with you 100%, Maureen. All right, our next question. What are some of the green flags and red flags stroke non-negotiables when dating while you have children? There's so many.
Yeah. Let's start with you.
I'll say some green flags.
Yeah.
Some green flags is like on the first date, being keen about the children.
Yep.
And not just for show, because there are those ones who come and be like, tell me about your kids, but no, they're just trying to
Yeah.
So it's actually seeing that there's an interest in wanting to know, I guess, just the dynamic of the family and how it is that I can be able to fit in. I think that's like a green flag to some extent.
Yeah.
And then another green flag is how it is that they treat people, because for me that's a really important thing. If you treat people badly, like, that's a big problem for me. That's a very big problem for me. So I'll just name those two. Then you can name two. Then I can name some red flags.
This is a hard one. This is a hard one.
You can do even red flags if you'd like.
Well, what I can say is I'm not too privileged to understand what is a red or a green flag.
Right.
Let me explain. Being in the public, I have the disadvantage that people will get to know me before I get to know them.
Okay.
Right?
Okay.
And I also don't have the privilege of, going out whenever I feel like it. Although in 2024, I want to be out there.
Right, right.
Yeah, because it's more like you're so tired. There's so much going on. You're thinking of, you even, like, I calculate the hours I'm going to sleep for. I'm like, okay, if I sleep now, I'll wake up at this time.
5 hours at 6. I
know, like those things. So sometimes I struggle with it. However, all I can say is that I'm also now privileged to be very sharp and pick things very early on. And I'll hear something, give the benefit of the doubt. I hear another thing. I see a certain action and I'm like, okay, I'm sorry, that won't work.
Yeah.
And then somebody, I guess, who can let me be myself without, in consideration that I have kids, I have 2 boys. And, I want somebody to like really understand that when I say Friday, 5 p.m., I really mean it.
That time thing is like a thing for you, because you see, then maybe you can say that that's one of your non-negotiables, where it's just
Pretty
like, I need
much.
you to be committed enough to commit to the time that you've set up with me. Yeah.
Pretty much. And your comments towards, my situation of being a mother, because some people are mean out there. They say like really wild things, like, and maybe one day we can discuss this, being a single mom to boys or being a single mom to girls. It's very different, especially right here in Kenya. There's this whole taboo of boys, this and that. So I like hearing like, where are you?
Right.
And
I want to hear that. What's the difference?
So they say that, especially some tribes, that if a woman gets married with 2 boys, they become the dominant
I see.
heirs of whatever the family has. And, sometimes men are unable to get too close to the mom because the boys are protective.
Right.
But I think that's just a myth. Girls are protective too.
Okay.
They will
they
ask
are.
questions like, who are you? What do you want to do with my mommy? And then the whole thing of, I guess this applies across whether you're a boy mom or a girl mom.
Okay.
That your baby father or whatever will always have access to you.
I see.
Really,
I see.
Yeah. So you find that there's a lot of judgment towards single moms, and assumption that they're desperate.
I see.
It really pisses me off. And if I pick such things, those are red flags.
Okay.
Like, don't talk to me.
Yeah.
Like,
I don't need you.
I don't need that.
I'm
I don't need that
choosing to be.
energy.
Yeah.
I don't need it.
Yeah, I hear you.
Yeah.
100%. Yeah. Okay. Green flags? Any green flags? We've said keeping time. I'm gonna switch your red flags, your non-negotiables. Yeah.
Honestly, I have good vibes because
Yeah.
if you don't, I'll know. It's
Okay.
like there's a superpower mummies have. The
Right.
spidey senses,
It's
they're real.
intuition.
Yeah.
Discernment. Let me
Yeah.
tell you, you
Yeah.
need to have that to be like,
Yeah.
who's for me and who's not for
Exactly.
me. Okay.
Yeah.
Perfect. Let's go to the next one. Now,
Yeah.
after how long and how many dates do you think it's appropriate to introduce your children to your new partner?
Yeah. Oof.
And I think we've taken that. No, we said that how much time after dating, but
Yeah.
what time after how long do you think it's appropriate to introduce your kids to your new partner? So I guess this is a perfect opportunity to sort of talk about what it was that I wanted to talk to you about,
Yeah.
which is this thing that was going around on all the blogs and stuff like that of Tia. Tia, Tia and Tamara, the
yeah.
twins. So they recently got a separation. And one of the things that was in part of their agreement was that they will not introduce their children to a significant other
Yeah.
unless it's after a period of 6
Yeah.
months.
Yeah.
Okay. Now, what do you think about that? Do you think that 6 months of dating, not a T of being in a relationship, sorry, not dating, because there's dating
Yeah.
where you're getting to know each other, but like this time we've committed, like
Yeah.
we're boyfriend and we're girlfriend and we're dating and we're trying to get to know each other more.
Yeah.
6 months. Do you think 6 months is enough?
Again, very subjective.
Right.
I'm thinking like a lawyer.
Okay.
I'm thinking like a judge.
Right.
And I'm thinking like
a mom. Yeah.
I would hate it if even myself, like, okay, let me use myself as an example.
Right.
I have no business introducing my boys to, like, I don't know, within 2 years,
Right.
let's say 4 men, because there's this thing of 6 months.
Right.
But if I feel that this person is going to become a permanent fixture,
Right.
yeah,
fixture in our life. It's fixture, furniture. That's a fixture, yeah.
Then that's I remember I actually early on during my breakup with my baby daddy, there's something I told him before everything went down, and I told him, I'll always respect you.
Right.
If I ever get somebody in my life and I feel like they're going to be here,
Right.
I'd want you to be the first person to know. So that there are no surprises, and we're gonna, no matter how painful it might seem, we're gonna sit down and work through it. That was a desire. Of course, it didn't happen, but ideally, I would, in my ideal world, that could be it.
Right.
Like, I would love to be so cordial with maybe my ex-partner, to be able to tell them, hey, listen, this is happening, and my kids, because there'll be many changes.
Right.
Like, this person would want maybe to be there permanently and also have his fatherly duties.
Right.
But 6 months, I mean, in this day and age, my
It needs to be
goodness.
longer.
Yeah, people
It needs to be longer.
Yeah, it could be. And hey, it can be. Listen, people meet and after 3 months they tie.
Yeah, they're not.
So what are we saying?
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. That's what I was saying. Not all. What we're saying is based off of our experience, and it's not one size fits all.
Exactly.
Like, people have different experiences. We're just trying to say the ideal time.
Exactly.
Yeah.
However, again, something I practice to date. My boys will never wake up and find some guy sitting in my
the
living
house.
room. Yeah. With his tumbo out.
Why does it have to be a guy with tumbo? Maybe he's got packs. Come on, give yourself some credit. Yeah. Maybe he's got some nice packs. Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like, that's their home.
Yeah.
And also, I'm also modeling to them my values as a woman.
Right.
Doesn't mean I won't have fun. Doesn't mean I can. But you see, when I'm actively dating somebody, I would ideally would rather have our separate lives until and unless the day they would be in my life permanently, so that my kids are not waking. Do you know how that's tormenting? Then they know how to wake up, find the remote, watch Mickey Mouse. But now they'll come in and they're like, okay, who is this
in our space?
Yeah,
like your home should be that sanctuary where the kids can feel safe, not every Tom, Dick, and Harry walking in and out of that. I agree with you.
Tom.
Yeah, and not even Jerry. No, none of
Meanwhile,
them.
yeah.
My phone is charging over here, which has the questions, but Maureen has the questions. And guess what? She's going to be reading them for us.
Okay.
I'll put her on the spot.
Awesome. Now I'm relaxed. So
Good.
I can do this. All right. So the question is, what are some of the fears one can have during dating period? I guess they mean after,
Like,
when you're a parent.
when you're a parent.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh, there's so many fears. I think one of my biggest fears for me when I started dating my partner was, is my kids gonna like this guy, and is he gonna like my kids? Because you see, we hadn't introduced them yet, so it's just like, okay,
Yes.
so I'm picking. He's definitely different from me
Yeah.
because I'm an extrovert and he's an
Yeah.
introvert. So then it's just like, how are they gonna cope with him?
Yeah.
How is their interaction gonna be? Is this serious?
Yeah.
Because you see, there's also that fear for, what if it gets too difficult
Yeah.
and that's it?
Exactly.
And then it just becomes another case of the kids have
Yeah.
been disappointed
Yeah.
yet again. Those are mainly my fears. Yeah.
Same here.
Yeah.
I can't imagine my kids getting attached to a person
Yeah.
and then they pull away.
Yeah.
So I found myself even practicing it with my friends.
Okay.
And we have a rule. If you and I fall out,
Yeah.
please
Continue.
it's not the kids have nothing to do with
Okay.
it. But of course the
It's different.
former partners know
Yeah.
in
Yeah.
case we get there.
Yeah.
However, there's also like the future. Is this person ready, without honestly me prompting them, ready to tell me what they feel, and are they gonna say the right thing?
Right.
Like, this is what my plan is along, down the road.
Yeah.
About the kids and all that. And hey, actually, I was again having a discussion with another friend. He's never married, so he's always like, "Oh, I hear his horror stories."
Oh yeah.
Oh, I
Yeah.
hear his horror stories.
Yeah.
And he has a friend who is a mom to two babies from two different baby daddies.
Okay.
And then there's this whole thing of, is he going to, so one wants to take care of the other of one
Differently.
and leave out the other one. It's
A mess.
it's just a
yeah.
messy affair. So that's what like runs through my mind. Like, would this person come and first of all meet the qualities I look for
Right.
in a person? And will my kids look up to them, especially if they're not parents themselves? Because there's also a slight advantage when a person is a parent. So you can see how they behave around their other children. You get it, yeah?
Yeah.
But then again, it doesn't mean you should lower your standards or say, I'm gonna go for this person because I'm a no.
Right.
It's just the qualities and really being realistic.
Yeah.
Like, put it on the table.
Yeah.
I like what Shiko Nguru and Mike did, like the couples AGM, such things. Like, let's have the conversation on the table. If you avoid it, it's gonna catch up with you at the end of the day.
Right.
Yeah, that. And if they're gonna like my kids, and if my kids are gonna like them.
Yeah.
Or if my kids are gonna like them too much.
Oh, but that's never a bad thing, is it? That's never a bad thing.
Yeah.
I like the fact, Maureen, that you also brought up the aspect of if a person is a parent and if a person is not a parent, because there is such a big difference. But also you need to bring into light the fact that if this person is a parent, that means that there's another person that needs to be able to blend into this family.
Yeah.
But on the case of if a person is a parent, not only then would you be comfortable with the fact that they're a parent, but you also need to learn their parenting styles.
Yeah, exactly.
And when a person is not a parent, you need to teach them or to understand how they would like to parent.
Yes. And it's that simple. And then their personalities as well.
Okay.
People who just gel so well with kids until you're like, who taught you this?
Yeah, that's true. That's true.
But anyway, even for even your own partner, even with your own child, sometimes you'll find yourself like telling them certain things.
Right.
You learn from each other because you were raised differently from them.
Yeah.
So you have to look at how they grew up, what they believe in, what the thoughts are about this. And of course, that other thing where you really end up liking someone and you're like, you get that moment of, is he going to go to his home and introduce me as his girlfriend or woman he wants to marry, and that she has two kids?
Yeah.
And you're
yeah.
Okay,
yeah. What's going to happen thereafter? Oh, that was a fear I definitely had.
It's
Especially
so
with the mom. I was so
insane.
scared. I was just like, what's the mom going to think?
And well done. Honestly, Claire, you're such a blueprint to women.
Oh, thank you.
Yeah, because a lot of women have given up on themselves just because they found themselves as parents and they don't feel like they fit.
Right.
And some feel like they need to prove a point, so they end up jumping from one place to another. It's so unfortunate. And of course, exposing their kids to some really bad
Ridiculous
things. We've
things.
had
Yeah.
some horror
Cases.
stories,
Yeah.
especially of moms to daughters. And,
Yeah. It's so unfortunate, but I'm just like, I feel one thing they need to be able to understand is the reason as to why they do some of these things. But I'm not going to give advice. All we're doing right now today is we're just giving our opinions of these specific things in terms of what we went through.
Yeah. Oh, sorry. One last thing.
Yeah.
Security. They have to be very secure. Because like I said, there's this huge assumption that once you are dating a mom, they're somehow attached to, to their baby daddies and all that.
Right.
Like, be secure. Believe me. Don't believe what you're thinking.
Right.
Somehow you'll end up overthinking and you miss a good shot.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
It's something
So
amazing.
you're talking about the insecurities that would stem from the relationship when it comes to co-parenting.
Exactly.
Okay.
Yeah.
I feel like that's usually important, but I also feel like we also need to play such a big role in terms of the boundaries that we create in order to be able to harness that trust
100%.
that is required, in order to build a relationship from your current partner.
Yeah.
But it's also learned.
Yeah.
Maureen, I've had to learn the hardest way.
Yeah.
It is learned because you go through things and then you're just like, this is something that needs to be dealt with. This is something that needs to be stopped, this communication. And you can only do that sometimes through experience.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Or if you're lucky enough from the very beginning.
Yeah.
Whereby you just, hey, dude,
no.
Our business is one.
Yeah.
We're not friends.
Yeah.
You can be friends, but mine is, hey, we have one business.
And that's it.
Those little guys.
Yeah.
The end.
And that's it. All right, Maureen, what's the next question?
All right. The next question is, look how excited you are.
Yeah.
Should I discuss my parenting situation in the first? I think we
got
this. Yeah. And how much should one disclose? Maybe we can give an opinion or two.
Of how much you should disclose in terms of your parenting. Yeah. Like I said, the first dates, it's always you're like on eggshells, you're like all shy, keeping things to yourself because I'm going to be honest, I don't think I laid it all on the table and I don't think you can.
Yeah.
Those things take time for you to be able like, oh yeah, this happens and this happens and this happens.
Yeah.
And sometimes being in the relationship is then when now the other person starts to see things and then you have to now explain, that happens. Would you like us to work on it? Would you like us to change it?
Yeah.
So for me, in terms of parenting, I can't remember some of the questions that I was asked to the T, but I do know there was a lot of questions around how it is that I discipline, how it is that communication. There's one thing that he did mention is I like the way you talk to your kids. Because then for me, from the beginning, I spoke to them like the people who understand what it is that I'm saying. And we had open communication, So I guess what are the things that we align on when it comes to parenting? Do you take your kids to church? Is God an important thing to the both of you?
Yep.
And I'm like, when it comes to God, we don't play. And so just those basic top things were definitely discussed.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
For me, I think I would say the minute they make their intentions very clear that they want to be with you, could be on the 5th date, could be on the 10th one, could be on the first one.
Right.
You gotta ask it.
Yeah, you gotta ask, like, what are we doing here?
So what's up? Can I have a layout of how you imagine, or rather you want the things to be? Like, lead me, because you're gonna assume until one day they tell me I didn't say it.
Right.
Say it.
Like on the table, you're in a relationship on your own.
Exactly.
And you don't know.
Yeah, and you don't know. And again, this even goes out to people who are just dating. There are people who have boyfriends and girlfriends and they don't know. The other person doesn't know.
Yeah.
It's like, hey, dude, you didn't ask me.
Yeah.
2 babies later.
Exactly.
You didn't ask me.
Yeah.
Me, I've just been sitting around. You cook nice meals. Hey. But beyond that, the parenting situation, I know one of the topics that I mean personally comes up a lot is co-parenting, because I had the unfortunate experience of everything being out there. It was so ugly. Sometimes I say if you're experiencing it privately, it's a very different story.
Yeah, that's true.
But now it's always like,
what's going on now?
And those are the things I was saying. I'm not privileged to meet me first.
Yeah, and get to know me.
Get to know me for me,
right?
Not for that figure you see.
Yeah.
And then, like personally, I have core values that I can never compromise on.
Good.
And those are the things I'll say.
Yeah.
From how I'm taking care of the kids, even financially,
Right.
because this person might want to know, okay, what is my contribution and how far does it go? Instead of, and like I usually say, kids are my business.
Okay.
But if you want to be in my life, somehow I will give you a leeway to be in their lives, and it's up to you to dictate up to what time.
Okay.
There's no entitlement.
Right.
It's up to what extent.
Okay.
I'm not expecting you to be like, okay, now I'm even thinking of taking them to Brook House or Banda School, and this is the
the
you
fees.
know,
Yeah.
it's more like, this is what I do. These are the plans I have. If you can help me improve,
Yeah.
I'll be very grateful.
Right.
But it's not an entitlement. Yeah.
That's good.
Yeah.
I'm glad that it's not an entitlement. But those are usually things that you're saying. You talk about like after the 5th day and after intentions have been made clear.
Like
okay.
the minute they make the intentions
Right.
clear, discuss it.
Okay.
Yeah.
Good.
Great. The next question will be, the comparison bag. If you have been in a long-term relationship, how easy is it to find yourself comparing good things and bad things?
Whoop. Oh my goodness. Did I write those questions? I wrote those questions. Oh my gosh.
Yeah, you did that.
The comparison bug. I feel like I'm going to speak from a point of long-term relationships.
Yeah.
Because when you're in a long-term relationship, I was with my partner maybe for 9 years, on and off, maybe less, I don't know.
Yeah.
On and off. And so when you live with this person, one, you've learned this person's way of thinking, how they do things. And so in turn, you've also adapted, your way of thinking and your way of doing things.
Yeah.
So then you have to unlearn that. And then unlearning it means that, unfortunately, subconsciously or consciously, you end up comparing.
Yeah.
Even if you don't want to, subconsciously, you'll be like in a situation and for me, it's usually for the better in terms of I'll be like, okay, I got angry and we discussed it and we talked about it and it was cordial.
Yes.
This has never happened.
Yeah.
Do you understand what I mean?
Yeah.
Whereas it's different and you can visibly see that it's different. So subconsciously, you will, compare.
Yeah.
In terms of learning a person, I don't think I've done that. I think for me, it's mostly in those instances where it's just like, okay, yeah, this never happened before, or this has happened before. Yeah, like that. Yeah.
Yeah. Personally, I'm a firm believer, once again, of you attract who you are. And my only comparison would be who I was that time and my contributions to the failure
Right.
to who I am today.
Oh, I love that,
Yeah,
Maureen. Yeah, because you play a very big role to how things play out even at that time.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So the comparison back doesn't always have to be negative. It can be
Right.
positive. Like there's some things you would never catch me dead repeating.
Right.
I had to learn very
So you're
quickly.
comparing who you were
yes.
in the relationship before then and who now you are in this relationship.
And
oh,
want
wonderful.
to be anyways.
Yeah.
And you can find yourself having, okay, I don't know, I might get
emotional. It's okay.
No. No.
Oh, okay.
No, I'm saying the stones might be thrown at me, but wait, what did I want to say?
It's about now you looking back and be like, who was I then?
Yeah. Oh, hold on. Okay, it slipped my mind. It was a good point. It will come back. But for instance, I would take certain things, especially in therapy, and I would read. Oh yeah. Sometimes, especially men. Sorry, men. You will find that they will meet, the person they think is the right one for them, and they also have this habit of just jumping or continuing with what they had started,
Right.
And then what they do is they tell this person, she's crazy, she's that. They leave out the part where they played a role, because there's no way you're walking around the streets and you see a crazy woman and say, hey, I want to put 2 babies in you or 3, and then go around telling my future partners how crazy you are.
I see where the stones are coming from.
Right.
Now. Okay.
It's about and yeah. So to my point, sometimes your intimate person can bring out the worst in you, because either you're mirroring, whereby if they're abusive, you abuse back, because it's the only way you know how. It's a coping mechanism, and so you find these qualities that you never even used to have, and then should you be there and there are even children involved, we all know what women go through, especially for 2 years,
Right.
from pregnancy to postpartum. There's a whole change physically, emotionally, and all that.
Right.
And then second baby comes, that's 4 years.
Right.
Maybe the third baby comes. And if this person has not set themselves to actually understand that a woman does change and I'm gonna love her as she goes along, what they do is they tend to sort of castigate, accuse, and abandon. There are many things. Because sometimes, you want to feel still like a girl, even if you're 20 kgs heavier.
Oh, yeah.
Then, so for me, I saw the person I was at that time, and I would never want to be her again.
Oh.
So those are the things I actively would say. For instance, I don't believe in yelling at each other. Oh my goodness, the minute a voice is raised, I'm done.
Right.
I'm out.
Yeah.
And it's not just me, like the same thing I model to the kids. And you find that kids are sponges, they absorb the energy around them. It's not what you tell them, it's what you show them. So my comparison would be that, because if I'm comparing my ex-partner with who, when he was in a different state, maybe he's changed himself, I don't know, but it would be unfair to compare that and this.
To the new.
But me, I'm gonna compare, and I'm constantly
Maureen,
gonna
I
keep
must
comparing.
commend you for that, because I feel like it's very difficult for people to always look at, and I feel like this is something I've probably also done before, where it's difficult for you to look at me, what it is that I did, the role that I played, and who I was at that time.
Exactly.
Right? Most of the time, it's always easier to be like, I was treated like this, and I was done for
The
this, and
victim
this
card.
person is always a victim.
Yeah.
And so for me, I'm just like, I commend you for that, and it does challenge me to really dig deep and be like, and even for you at home, I hope it does the same as well, to be like, who do I want to be, and let me focus on that and not who I was in the past. So well done on that so far. You're welcome. All right,
and
next
actively
question.
working,
And actively
towards
working on
yourself.
it. Yeah.
There's no shame in therapy.
Yeah.
Even if therapy, people assume you go there because you're in a bad place. Sometimes you have to go there when you're in a good place, because life is ups and downs.
Yeah, that's
when
true.
you're up, you must go down.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay, great. What does another breakup mean to you and the children? And does that influence the decision to introduce your children to your new partner?
Oh,
Yeah.
please go ahead first.
Oh,
Yeah.
right in the hot soup.
Yeah.
What was the question again?
So basically, the breakup,
another
you know how
breakup,
you were like,
yes.
breakup. So it's like, okay, the next person, do you introduce them as early, or there's a fear now because of that breakup? And if you've already introduced your kids, then, what does that breakup look like again?
Oh my goodness.
Yeah.
At the end of the day, you're the adult here.
Yeah.
It's okay to fail. It's what you do
After.
Did it fail? How else are even your children gonna know how to fail and rise up? It will be through you. So it's okay. It's okay to believe in love again. Love, and if it fails,
it's failed. It's not the end of things.
And show them, hey, Uncle so and so will no longer be coming around because we're not friends anymore, or whatever they understand at that point, depending on their age. And being absolutely honest with them, because kids, we really underestimate children.
Oh yeah, the amount they see and like what they can actually pick out from a specific situation, we underestimate their
and children
their
are very
wisdom.
simple. Children, you tell them, they ask you a question, just pray for quick wisdom, answer them, they'll move on. It's like, oh, okay, that's it.
Yeah.
But the other mistake also people tend to make, even now going back to even your former partner or their father, is to put bad things in their heads. Like, my goodness, I wish more women realize that it doesn't favor you.
Yeah, it really doesn't.
They will see for themselves.
Yeah.
Sooner than later.
Always.
Kids are
yeah.
very smart.
Yeah.
And somehow they break free. They break free of any bondage you put upon them.
Right.
So be a good person for yourself. Be a person of integrity, and then lead by example. Fail, show them you failed. But also I'm against, surely, why are you introducing 5 men within, or 5 women within a certain amount of time to your kids?
Yeah, it's unnecessary. It's not fair at all. Yeah.
And what I do, if at all, because sometimes you can be with a person, or rather maybe you're trying to date the person, maybe you're out somewhere and you bump into each other, the kids are there. Just keep it simple.
Yeah.
That's my friend.
Yeah.
You know, I sit with my boys, like now when I was leaving, it's like, where are you going? Who are you going to meet? Is it a he or a she? Like they'll always ask questions.
Yeah.
But where they are, it's like with their years and that innocence, leave them at that. And when they ask questions, let's be honest.
Yeah.
But you don't always have to say, no, that's my boyfriend, whatever. That's Uncle so and so. That's my friend. You don't have to be
That's
you don't
it.
have to make it
Yeah.
complicated.
I think for me it matters because the question was if
Like, would you like try again if
like
if
yeah
it feels
would it
like the second time?
influence
Would
your
it influence your decision to
I think
to introduce the children?
I think if I'm sitting here and be like, okay, what would it be like for me?
Yeah.
It would matter one if I'm the one who decided or picked
Yes.
out something and I was just like,
Yeah.
no, this is not going to work. I'm
Yeah.
out.
Yeah.
It would have less of an effect than if this was a potential and a good potential at that, where we were building something and we've done it for a period of time and it actually hurts
Yeah.
based on whatever reason that we've decided to go our separate ways.
Yeah.
So would it influence my decision to introduce the kids sooner or
Yeah,
for the
now
next
learn.
relationship? It would definitely influence. Yeah, definitely 100%. Because I wouldn't want to put them and myself in that same position again. Yeah. All right. Can go
Yeah,
to
I
the
usually
next one.
say that it can guess what it can get worse than that.
Yeah. All right. So we've just
Overhealing.
been asked
Yeah.
if being a single mom, then does the breakup hurt more or less in terms of when you're dating? We're not talking about the relationship with the biological parent. We're talking about like when you're dating. Does a breakup hurt less or more because of the fact that you have kids? It's because of, does it hurt more or less because of the fact that your focus is solely on the kids? So because of just how much energy you're putting into raising and being a mom, you're like, thank you, next.
Yep.
Or does it then really hurt because of the fact that your kids are involved in this dynamic?
Sorry.
Yeah, like how are you supposed to even answer that?
No, like why? I mean, listen, I think it's not even about hurting life. It's your intentions.
Right.
If your intentions are to capture this person who looks like a potential and really draw them close and all that with the wrong intentions,
Right.
it'll hurt
Right.
for you. But if your intentions are right and really you're moving from a point of, I guess every person who's been in a marriage or a relationship that the results were a kid and it hurts different. But then now I feel like it wouldn't hurt less, it would just hurt different. Because the things I used to care about that time about, losing my life, just like
it's different. Right.
so different.
I feel like maybe can we then say that it's not necessarily the hurt, but moving on thereafter, where it's just like, because there's people who have like the mentality for people get into relationships so that they can have kids. I think there's Lydia had asked me that question before, like, do you get married to kids because of you want kids, or is it that or is it that the kids are the ones that make you get married? I guess it's like a different question, but then because you have kids, then you're just like, I need to move on. Like, we can't stay here being broken, being hurt. Does it make it easier for you to move on? Because the hurt can only be measured by your investment in the relationship. If you weren't fully invested, then it's not really going to matter whether you're a single mom or you're not.
Exactly. Because I mean, you become realistic. Like me, I'm very realistic. If it doesn't work out, it's okay.
It's okay.
So I manage my expectations. Because the expectations are, when you're disappointed through the expectations is what hurts more. But yes, there's something like, I call it overhealing. Sometimes we heal too much, we feel nothing. Or you become so intolerant. You're like, hey, you're going to take me down that direction.
Again,
I've been there.
no, like not doing
no
that
thanks.
again.
But you never know. Along the way, again, age, experience, and definitely focus on your children. I can tell you, like, every day I wake up, even when I'm putting something in my mouth, I'm like, hey, that means a few years out of, off my life.
Right.
Why am I taking something that's going to harm me? Because my priority is to be healthy for the longest time possible and to be as resourceful towards my kids.
Right.
And also self-improve. Things I do right now, I do them for them.
Right.
Sometimes, even want to qualify so that your kids can be like, hey,
that's my
do you
mom.
know who my mommy is?
Oh,
My
I love
mom
that.
is
I'm always
this.
like, I want my kids to be proud of me.
Exactly.
Yeah.
They should be proud,
Yeah.
and for their own, and also unlearning how we were raised. Because, hey, baby boomers did us a dirty one.
Yeah.
They did us dirty.
Yeah.
But that's the only way they knew how to parent.
Yeah.
Let's do it differently.
Yeah.
Maybe they will be criticizing us and saying, can you imagine?
Yeah.
Or you can be like, when my mom, when other parents were doing this, where was my mom?
Yeah.
And again, it's just the ball keeps rolling. We become better and better, stronger and stronger. But I guess to be more specific, it hurts.
It hurts
because I'm not going down that road again.
Right.
Yeah, the things that used to hurt me don't.
Let's move on.
Oh, you didn't call me.
Yeah,
whatever,
I've been
man.
here, done that.
Been there.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. You're showing up after 3 days of going quiet. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
I'm done. I usually say I have two. I have two people to worry about and to improve them. I can teach a person how to treat me.
Yeah.
Especially the basics like the communication, showing up, being, having integrity, being reliable, like such things. Come on.
Let me tell you, Maureen, I feel like when you find that person that you're willing to spend the rest of your life with, there are certain things that you're still going to have to go through in terms of like communication and teaching them certain things, because let me tell you, the blended aspect, which we will get into, is quite complex.
It is.
It's quite complex.
Yeah.
But in terms of like the hurting, I think.
Yeah, but that
I'm
was
with you on
a
that.
good question though.
Yeah.
It
I
makes you
know.
wanna think.
All right, we can go
by
to the
the
next
way,
one.
there's a way I behaved last
Yeah.
time. And I was like, was that me? Okay, great. So what are some of the things you would say you keenly observe when introducing your new partner to the children, or when meeting your new partner's children? Oh my goodness. Hey.
Oh gosh, let me try and remember what that was like for me. So when it happened, I think the way that you do it matters, because you see that those people who do it in a space where there's other people, it's not just a one-on-one, which doesn't make it uncomfortable for the child and for the bonus parent who's coming in. So have like a family setting where you can sort of introduce everyone and be like, this is so-and-so, this is uncle so-and-so, and this is friend so-and-so. But for me, one of the major things that I look at is the person being themselves with the children, because you can tell when somebody is like overdoing
100%.
it. You're just like, and then how is the kid's response to this person? Because you can always see when a child is uncomfortable with someone, like you can tell it from a mile away. And then also, how is he, I guess, just interacting with them just on a regular basis.
Exactly.
Yeah, those are the first key things.
Yeah.
Because I don't want you to try too hard. Like, just don't try too hard.
No, don't show up with, I don't know, a PS5 and
on the
can
first time of
barely
meeting
No,
them. Oh my
please
gosh.
don't.
I know people who've done things like that.
Well, if they have the capacity, then good. But I think you can tell a book. Allowed to say? Okay. You can tell a book, from a mile away. I usually say, moms, we have our spidey senses on point.
Right.
Unless you just want to ignore and you refuse to grow up,
you can smell it. You can sniff it.
See it from a mile away, and it's like, oh my God.
Yeah.
But I agree with you on one thing for sure. All of it, but this particular thing, it's also a non-negotiable. If I see my kids are not comfortable around you, I'm sorry.
That's a problem. That's a big problem.
That's enough for me to say cancel.
Yeah. Absolutely. All right, Maureen, we can go to the
great.
next question.
Got
We're
carried
almost done.
away.
We're almost
Can you
done.
imagine? So, what if my children don't like my new partner? I feel like we've
tackled that. Yeah, that's an X completely. Yeah.
And vice versa,
Yeah.
basically.
Yeah. All right, we're done.
No, not yet.
There's where's the next one?
two
I
more.
thought we have two more. Okay.
Okay, so at what point, ooh, this is a good one, should parenting rules be introduced while dating?
While dating?
Yeah.
Please go first. Please go first.
Okay, I think I'm going to echo the same things I said.
All right.
I'm not I'm not an entitled person. But it's a big advantage when somebody comes into your life and they really just do something nice, or rather have positive implications towards the children on how they talk to them, what they do, um, and in a very natural way. Again, no force issues. I don't want you to come into my life and you're like, okay, so from tomorrow I'm picking the kids up from school every morning, or I'll send, slow down, slow down. We've been okay, and I don't, and again, you have to always think, are the kids comfortable? Like when it's said and done, it's about the kids.
Right.
And you know this, even if I see like people take their ex-partners to court, leave alone now the divorce matters, but if you see children's matters, they actually look like divorce matters, because they will say, oh, she yells, she says this. I'm like, the magistrate won't care. Are they a good parent? Have they been showing up? Are they responsible?
Yeah.
Simple.
Yeah.
So it all comes down what is good for them.
Okay.
And I think that one will now guide you to knowing, should this person come into my life, whether you're dating, engaged, married,
Right.
if they take up small responsibilities here and there, I wouldn't mind.
Yeah.
Also as a gesture to me, but not at you. Suddenly, I don't want you to. I don't want them to see the father again.
Yeah.
Or I'm like, hey,
Yeah.
okay, we I was about to say something bad, but yeah, I get you,
Yeah.
and I know maybe how you feel about that
Yeah.
person, because I see like now when you have someone new in your life, automatically, and it's very okay for them not to like, especially if they've seen or heard things. Not me trying to convince them. Oh, what was I doing? Me too. Like, what was I doing? Did I pick a madman and have kids with? But it's that understanding. Be grown up. Be a grown up about it. So if they introduce small roles, let me take them this day, to swim or whatever. Of course, I'd love to be there.
Right.
But until I'm comfortable to have the person be with them alone, now that's a different story.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
But if you're doing it together, well and good. Pay a bill. It's okay. Buy the tennis rackets, the rackets, the soccer boots. It's okay.
Yeah.
But don't try to like.
I think what I'm
eliminate
getting
the
from
DNA.
that, which is now what I think, because for me, I think parenting roles are very important to discuss.
Yeah.
But there are levels with every stage of your relationship.
Exactly.
So then when you're early stages of your relationship, then it's like, let's talk about hanging out with us, all of us together. And how does that look like? Then when you get serious and you're actually like into a relationship, maybe a year in, it's like, okay, how can I make your life a little bit easier? And what are the things that I can do? And then when you're married, it's like, now you need to discuss the pickups. You need to discuss who's picking who and who's dropping who. So dependent
all
on
the way to what you've written in the will.
Everything. So depending on the state of your relationship in terms of the level, that then determines the conversations you're having in terms of parental roles. Yeah, does that make sense?
100%.
All right.
Can I ask a bonus question?
Yes, please.
Again, I learned from my friends, and I have a girlfriend who is also in the same situation.
Okay.
She's trying to co-parent, and she's also in love with a man who does not have kids.
Okay.
And I remember her, we were discussing like, how would you feel about your like how did your partner handle you or introduce you to his family? You see, and then she said, oh my goodness, he's so protective, he's so fierce about me being a mom of one child, and there's no compromise. But then you find other people who will not. They'll try to hide you. They don't even be seen with you, and they won't show up for you.
Okay.
Like I know, like you're already, in a wonderful partnership. But how important was it to you for your partner to take you as you are and go and tell the mom, hey, listen, you asked for a girl, I'm bringing you three. Three beautiful ones. And their family dynamics and the future.
Right. Yeah. I love that question, Maureen, because it's something that I think I've spoken about before on the podcast, my first episode. But then I've been way privileged when it comes to my partner and just how he's been throughout this journey of blending, because from the beginning it was like, this is my person and these are my children. Like okay, well, not this is my child, this is my daughter, but like eventually he's the one who sort of placed himself in a way that made me feel so comfortable about the dynamic that we're in. When it came to communicating to the mom, who is just an amazing human being, she said, and I think I've said this before, she was just like, yeah, I'm really proud that I raised someone who can see past all that. But because of the person that my partner is, it's very important. I felt like it's very important for him to be that person that makes me comfortable, you know, in that this is what I choose and this is the life that I want. That it made it easier for whatever anybody else has. You understand? Because then you'll have cases, even I think even the mom has warned me, where it's just like, hey, honey, you know, it's very difficult for women in this world being single moms. There's a certain perception and air that's around them. There are certain comments that you may hear, you know. And so she was just like, I want you to be prepared for that. But I want you to know that we have your backing like 100%. And she did. Imagine, even through the court cases and everything, my partner and her and the family had my backing 100%. So I feel like I've been very blessed in that aspect. But I do know of cases of people who don't have that privilege, where it's like this person, like it's like single mom, uko na hakika, ako wapi baba yao mtoto, unafanya nini naye, you know, and they make it even more difficult to be able to merge and blend. So for me, it's for your friend, if you're able to just tell her, friend, if you're watching, then good. It's just to have that conversation with your partner, and that's what matters, because at the end of the day, you're not having a relationship with anybody else. It's just the two of you.
It's your partner.
Yeah,
Even
it's just the two
in
of
general,
you.
when you think about it, if you see cases where, say, mom-in-law, especially to boys, really dislikes the girl.
Yes.
At the end of the day, it's not her who decided I'm not gonna like her. It's what that person represents to the mother. And if they keep telling her negative things about this person they're dating, you don't expect her to be okay with it. At the end of the day, as a parent, you want to protect your child.
Yeah, absolutely.
So there's a lot of misconception. But I like the fact that it's clear as of now that your partner must be the one to lead and guide how the conversation goes from the very beginning.
From the beginning.
Hence now, the first few questions you're asking on a date, or when they decide to be in their lives is, okay, what are your dynamics? How would it look like? What would your parents say? What would your community say? Or rather, how do you feel about it?
Right.
And if they go, I don't know, no, that's my green light or red light.
You're
when
red flag.
When they're a bit
wishy-washy,
run.
Girl.
Yeah.
You know, it's so interesting that you're saying this, because there's a level of honesty that is required, but then more and more I'm realizing that how many people really want that honesty. Because you see, this is a conversation that I've had, but I'm not really going to speak on the specific conversation, but there was an aspect of honesty which made me quite uncomfortable in terms of like, am I really sure that you're interested in this? So for example, being in a relationship with a single mom, even you as that partner, or even with a single dad, how many women are told, are you mad? What are you thinking? Like, how could you even try and consider that, you know? And even now as a guy, are you mad? Like, why would you try be with a single mom? And so there's a lot of, what is it called?
Red pill.
There's so societal, you know, opinions of that dynamic in itself.
It's so
crazy. So as a human being, it's only natural for you to feel some type of way, both as you being the single mom and the guy, you know, coming into this relationship. Like, yes, he's interested, and yes, he wants to be in this relationship. But then does it take away from the fact that you still need to be careful, because societal opinions still are there, you know? Now, it's okay to have those thoughts and to be open about it. I feel not in the first date, because the first date you already have someone going, you know.
First, second,
But
third, you're just
also being able to create that space where you're like, yeah, I understand that can be uncomfortable, but it's also making me uncomfortable because I'm unsure. Do you really want this?
Yeah.
And then the person then affirming that it's something that they do want to do, and you know, you move from there. So for me, it's like the truths and the half truths and the reality of how things actually feel are completely different things.
I agree.
Yeah.
I agree. And it's also important to note that this good that's happening to you.
Yeah.
And actually, a couple of people I know and I've met recently.
Right.
So most of them being men, really taking up that role.
Yeah.
It's important to really point out that it's still there. It's amazing. There's
Yeah.
another side. Don't focus on the negative or
Right.
what people would say, because it goes down to your self-esteem, and then you go around the cycle of instilling the same thing to your nieces and daughters.
Right.
And you have to raise a confident generation. But the minute your partner steps in, it doesn't matter what the world says to you.
Yeah.
It's all right.
Yeah.
As long as they're okay with
Yeah,
it.
then we just
That's all
move
that
from
matters.
there.
People will
Yeah.
always find something to talk about.
Always,
Yeah.
Maureen,
Especially if
always.
it's going very well.
I know.
It's like,
Why?
maybe alimwekea kamote. Okay, so on our last question.
Yay,
I feel sad. This has been such an
so
amazing.
well. Thank you for reading this while my phone is charging over here. Thank you.
Getting some juice.
Yeah.
Yeah, so after how long can you say you trust your new partner?
I think we've talked about
Yeah.
that. We've sort of like delved into it to some extent, where it's just
Yeah.
like after they've stated their intentions, and then, you know, you moved on. But also after after you see them, how you see them interacting with your child. I think that's
Exactly.
also important. No? How about you?
And again, same thing, gut, my intuition, my spidey senses, if they're okay. And really, really, I can look at you and I feel like I can trust you, well and good.
Yeah.
The other thing I do is I'm keen on and more interested in talking to people who I know their friends, their family, you know, because the people around them,
It's
tells
important.
a lot about the kind of people they are, even before you come to a point. Because when you come in to introduce them to the kids, you must have gone really deep, because there's no, like, I don't know, any mama bear would take out anybody who even remotely tries to hurt their kids.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, so
yeah.
it all comes down to that. But I'd be very sad if I leave this this episode without asking you, as Claire, Kenyan
Ask
girl.
me, girl. Ask
You
me.
know?
Yes.
Kenyan girl, beautiful,
Oh, thank you.
focused.
Thank
and you're all these amazing things,
Thank
and
you.
then you're a mom. Because of the red pill now, the Andrew Tates of the world and all that. Have you ever felt a bit undeserving of everything good, as opposed to how you would be if you were not a mom? Like, have you ever felt like, okay, maybe I can even get attention from certain guys, or
Right.
somebody's gonna, after 2-3 days, they're like, I really like them, but what if they run away? Because you know, have you ever had like a moment? But of course, because of all this noise, oh, single moms, oh,
Yes,
women
yes,
over
yes, yes,
30,
yes.
oh, her stomach is not flat anymore. There's so much
Yeah.
that is expected of us.
Absolutely. I
Yeah.
feel like that's such a human thing
Yeah.
to sort of experience, where, and especially for me, because it was verbally told to me. I was told, nobody's going to want you. You've got 2 kids, you know? And so it does play into your way of thinking, because I guess after you see things not working, you're just like, okay, was he right? But then also, I guess with the love thing, it's because I really believed in love. So then, like 100%. So then I was very optimistic about that. In terms of being undeserving, there are times when I felt, and I can say the only thing that I felt undeserving of is God's love for me. You see, because I feel like that's usually my where I try and put my focus on. In terms of me being deserving of love, I feel everybody is deserving of love. You know, like everybody is deserving of love.
perfect as you are.
Everybody's deserving of good things. and why not me?
Yeah.
You understand? Like, why not you?
Exactly.
Why
Yeah.
not you at home?
Yeah.
You're deserving of love and happiness and joy as well.
Yeah.
So I can't really place a point where I felt undeserving. Have I felt blessed to a point of breaking down?
Yeah.
Yes, I have.
Yeah.
Where it's just like, God, you know, you
Yeah.
question, like, you really love me this much.
Yeah.
And I've seen that through my partner. I've seen God's love through my mother-in-law. I've seen God's love through the kids. You understand what I mean? And so in those instances is when I feel, I am undeserving of this much favor and this much love. But like in terms of like human beings, I'm like, listen, we're all God's children. We're all equal. You know what I mean?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
So for me,
Yeah.
it's that constant human comparison.
Right.
And again, maybe this is a different kind of comparison. Where I've
Does
thought,
comparison make you undeserving though?
not really.
No.
In
Yeah.
this
Comparison is
aspect,
normal. Yeah.
in this
yeah.
aspect, you constantly imagine what my life would have been if I didn't have kids, and knowing the things I know right now.
Right.
And I would not take the other side
At all.
never.
Yeah.
I could be living in a penthouse in New York City, being the biggest shot, hottest lawyer in the streets of New York. But that joy, my money being eaten
Right.
every day, I cannot imagine anything better.
And those beautiful boys.
Exactly. And my own self-value. Like, of course, it took a while for me to be where I am, because when it was said and done, and you're looking and you're like, oh my goodness, maybe I wasn't good enough on this, like this, that. But then now when I flipped and healed, and I was like, wait a minute, I'm dope.
Good.
Enough. Whoever will end up,
is
like,
blessed.
And if you don't really actively believe it, you cannot expect someone else to come from wherever to come and affirm you. But if you know you're awesome, you're incredible, you're a wonderful mom, and a woman in the society who is doing great things, it's definitely amazing. And it removes all that doubt. You suddenly don't hear about all the things that they say about you, because like I've seen like on X, people sharing my photos before and after, saying some really mean things, even directly to me. And I'm like, I didn't wake up and I chose this life, but hey, I'm here. I'm wonderful. I'm touching so many lives. Get on with it. Anyway, after all, those people who feel like they have that to say, they don't deserve you.
Right.
The right people
will find you. I just want to say something, because I don't want to make it look like it was all rosy and dandy for me. It wasn't. There were moments where there was low self-esteem to the core, because I mean, you've been to a point where you're broken. So I literally had to learn to love myself all over again. And that's it. It wasn't easy. It was not, Maureen, it was not easy, where you can look at yourself in the mirror and you don't even see any worth in terms of like, it's like, I'm not pretty anymore. I'm not this anymore. I'm not that. I'm not confident anymore. I used to be outgoing. I'm not outgoing anymore. Who am I? I don't even know who I am anymore, So there was definitely moments where I went through that. But like you said, the kids help you heal. Therapy helps you heal. For me, the word really helped me heal. And so I did go through that phase where you're absolutely broken.
Oh my goodness, just allow me to
No,
mention
please,
something.
please.
It triggered me so bad. I've just felt like a bout of anxiety.
Yeah.
A few days ago, thereabout,
Right.
there was text message screenshots that were going around.
Okay.
Between a husband and wife.
Okay.
This man in his 40s, the girl is in her 20s, met her when she was 19, married her, got 2 babies with her.
Right.
And now he's already shifted to his attention to other women.
Okay.
And whatever he was telling her on those text messages, he kept saying, oh, you don't look as good. No, your body is not even as good looking as, these women I have. Literally shaming her to the T. In fact, I think she told him she's pregnant with that child, and said, me, I don't know. Whatever, man, you give birth. I'm not interested.
Oh, no.
Like, he's so tired. And then that is the active literally breaking a person down. And I sent a prayer out to her, and I said, I hope She's only 25, by the way.
Oh, no.
Yeah, I hope by the time she's rising, she can rise above those words. Because the same way your partner will make you, they can break you. Like
100%.
with anything, like the minute you give someone authority to get close to your heart, their hearts, HURTS, are the worst.
Right.
You let them in. Same way your parent who hurt you the most, your intimate partner, your friends.
The people who are close, basically, deeply.
Yeah. And I hope men can do better. I'm raising boys. I'm praying that each day they grow up, they are going to be the mark of goodness in the society.
Amen.
But it has to be a very active action from now. Like how I talk to them, how I handle them around other people, how I hand them over to other people. It's my sole responsibility.
Right. And you've done a great job. I've seen your boys. I'm sure the rest of you have seen the beautiful boys that she posts. And well done, Mama. And keep going, honestly. We here at the Blended Family Podcast do not take your time for granted. Okay? Because time is precious.
Yes.
And so we just want to honor you and say a quick thank you. I knew this color. I don't know, for some reason I just picked that one. It's a Dara.
And the cutest earrings.
There you go.
Oh, guys, she knows which one's my color. She knows. She knows what's up. This is actually my favorite color.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh, thank
like I said,
you.
I'm all pink and sparkly. You come to my house. That's how you know this. The evidence of testosterone is two little boys who have no say and they can't change me.
Honestly, we appreciate you,
so
Maureen.
much.
And we love what you're doing on social media as well. And I'm so proud to know you, honestly.
You too.
Thank you.
Again, let me just lastly really, really say this.
Okay.
You're a blueprint of what a woman whoever you are, whether you're a mother of 5, whether you're 60, you're deserving.
Right.
And you're a blueprint of that. And your story is so beautiful.
Thank you.
And well done to Mr.
Thank you.
For just really setting that example even to our sons.
Thank you. Thank you so much, Maureen. And of course, to you at home who are going through this journey, if you're a single parent and you're just, I guess, relating to a lot of things that we're saying when it comes to dating, then please let us know in the comments section. Please don't forget to subscribe and, of course, follow all our social media pages because we will be engaging a lot when it comes to the Blended Family Podcast. Thank you so much for watching this far. Maureen, you can say bye.
Bye-bye. And
bye.
Subscribe. And
Thank
like
you.
And leave positive comments.
Yeah, thank you so much, Maureen, and thank you for being here. Goodbye.
Thank you. Bye-bye.
Oh, happy. I love it so much. I don't think you guys even know it.